Science Friends. I am back again on this wonderful Saturday evening. I kind of just wanted to check in with you guys. I wanted to just chat a bit about things, and I hope everyone who does celebrate the equinox or Mabon had a wonderful equinox. I certainly did. It was a nice day for me. It was very blessed. And the main reason I'm making this video is because I haven't gotten around to talking to you guys much lately, but also because there's a change in the weather. You know, it didn't really happen around the equinox like we might hope it would, but today it's nice and chilly out. It's blustery, there's wind, it's the beautiful, perfect, crisp fall day. Lots of sunlight, blue skies, fluffy clouds, perfect. And it got me to thinking about how lucky we are, or at least how lucky I am. And I think that's kind of a theme that we might forget to kind of include in our celebrations, if you will. There's this idea that Mabon is just about fall. It's just the turn of the weather from summer into fall, and it's really kind of the pagan Thanksgiving, if you will. It's a time to really reflect, or at least it is for us in my household. We really try to reflect on the things that we have been blessed with, and we reflect on the past year, last year's fall, sometimes even, and what can I do this year to really enjoy this weather more, because fall is my favorite time of year, and I have so many plans for October, it's not even funny. Like, I had this really ambitious beginning of the fall months. It was August 30th or something, 29th, and I was already drinking my pumpkin spice coffee. I was watching Hocus Pocus. I was getting ready for Halloween, because I'm so pumped for cold weather, which probably sounds insane because I live in the Northeast, but I really was. And there's just, it truly is the witch's season, I guess you'd say, because there's this crackliness, I want to say. There's this crisp feeling. There's an energy that you don't really feel like happens all the time of year, and I think it's this kind of collective excitement. Maybe that's building. But I just, a lot of people get energized during the summer. I really don't. I feel exhausted and I hate it. But as soon as that crackly weather starts to set in, and it gets blustery, and the trees sway, and the leaves fall, and first thing in the morning, the sun's barely up, and it's just chilly. I just love it. I don't know why, but I do. And so I wanted to think, how can I spend this holiday, this equinox, a bit more mindfully, rather than just, throwing things on my altar and saying some empty words and being like, here, have a piece of bread. There's a mundanity that I don't like seeing in my craft. I don't like seeing in my everyday life. And I noticed that this year in particular, I saw very few videos on Mabon, which I know it's not obviously the most popular holiday. A lot of people don't actually celebrate or really acknowledge it. And then there are some that do. But even on the internet in general, there have been very few comments. And it struck me kind of odd, really. I guess I expected, like last year, it seemed like people addressed it a bit more, at least made videos on it or talked about it or made posts. But even on Tumblr, a lot of the posts that I found when I, do my little Google search or my little Tumblr search to, keep up with the season, which is one of my preferred ways of seeing what other people's thoughts are, a lot of the posts were from last year or the years before that, and it troubles me in a way, not because of the specific season or even the specific holiday. I just feel like there's been a lack of reverence, almost in a way, like that we have become, I guess I hate to say it, but it's kind of like how Christians have kind of turned Christmas into a just buy presents for everybody kind of holiday. And I mean, we do celebrate both in my house, but I was a little worried. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, I just thought I'd mention it, thought I'd bring it up just because no one else really seems to. I've only seen a couple of the people that I follow on here, or even just Google search rate, even searching videos. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about fall yet, and maybe it's just early, or maybe I missed them. I mean, that certainly could be true. But I kind of guess I'd like to see more of a, call to arms, really. Come on, guys, interact, make videos, talk about it. But don't just talk about, I do magic. Don't just talk about, I meditate. Talk about what the seasons mean to you. What are your correspondences? I can't even talk. I'm so tired. It's such a long day, guys. But anyway, I gotta make dinner in a little bit, which is why I'm in my kitchen, because I was about to cook, and I sat down and I thought, you know what? Be present. Make a video. Something was pulling at me. Not something, of course. But the will was really pulling at me to say something, to reach out to you guys, to be present. And so that's my theme, to get to my point, I guess, is presence. How do we find a way to be present in our working? How do we be present with our gods, our goddesses, our spirits, whoever we interact with? How do we be present with them? Do we just acknowledge that they're there, give them an offering, say a couple words, and walk away? Or do we meditate with them? Do we meditate on them? Do we meditate on ideas surrounding them? Do we even give them a daily attendance, in a way? Do we just go on our day-to-day life and never think about them at all? Because if we do, then what really is the point? We're not being present. When we are in ritual, when we are doing our magic, when we are having a ceremony, are we present? How do we find a way to be more present? For me, what's worked best is really just journaling on it. Writing down day to day, on my lunch break, on my 15-minute breaks, early in the morning, late at night. Just write it on my cell phone. I think everybody has like a notepad or a memo, memo app. Write down ideas. Who knows when they'll come to you? But if you have one, write it down. But don't forget it's there either, because that's also part of your mindfulness, of your presence. But it's also important to not overdwell on being present either, because when you're doing a working, while you're reflecting, or you're doing your best to honor your goddesses or your gods or whoever, do you find yourself thinking at the same time that, oh, I need to really be paying attention, I need to focus, I need to be present, I need to do this, I need to do that? Or are you going with the flow in a way? I guess that's kind of what I mean. You're being present, but you're being natural. And I think that comes in time. I think a lot of newbies, you might say, my biggest issue with, I guess, using pre-written out plans all the time and only for everything that you do can kind of be a bad thing in a way, because not to say that it's ever bad to use someone else's work, if you find a ritual that you really like, go ahead and use it. But remember that what makes your magic yours, what makes your spiritual path yours, is your work. So don't forget to do the work, you know? And for newbies to, you know, it's kind of a two-way street. You know, you don't want to tell them that they have to do everything themselves, because it can be really overwhelming, and it's really great to have options. I know when I was starting out, my girlfriend and I, we, you know, got books out of the library like everybody, just about everybody does. And most of the things that we did were from the books, because we didn't really know how to start. And then we would write our own. And nowadays I am at a level of devotion that I can write my own. Sometimes I reuse ones from years past, or even months past. Sometimes I completely wing it. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But then there's also times where I find myself online, and when I'm researching especially, I like to see what other people do. I like to see other ceremonies. I like to see other prayers. I like to see other meditation ideas. And that's where I kind of draw my ideas for my own. You know, I might find someone's ritual for honoring Iris or Osiris, or honoring anybody. We'll just give an option, just honoring the goddess in general. And she does it a certain way. And I go, I've never tried it that way. I might find myself trying her way. And I go, how did that ritual go? Well, it went great. I really liked what she did. But then there were certain things that I think that I could work on myself. And that's where you kind of take and give and take. Really, you can take easily from books, but you can also take from experienced witches. You can take from newbies. I mean, I follow newbie witches on Tumblr all the time that come up with the most beautiful things that I've ever seen. And, you know, there's a little bit of pride for them. I'm so proud of them because they've come so far, but there's also, you know, a little bit of jealousy, like, oh, I've never thought of anything that great, but you did, and that's amazing. And I'm sidetracking, of course, as I do, but it's presence. Again, you know, you're being present. When you read through something, don't just read it. Don't go, well, Lord, my goodness, I do this. You know, that kind of talking comes from reading a script. But you really, I don't believe you need one. I really don't. I mean, I even write my own out, and I just kind of hold it or put it down and just kind of glance at it. And then I, you know, go on and move on and say what I need to say. In fact, the best advice I really have is it's a lot like any time that I've ever written a speech for one of my speech classes, which I took in college. You didn't write it word for word. That never helped you. You know, the true public speaking, unless you're the President of the United States or a politician, is really to bullet your points. Which is how I write most of my ceremonies now. Is I might write some lines that I feel strongly about that I want to make sure are said, but the rest, you know, I'll put, you know, prayer, and then I'll write the prayer, and then I'll put a bullet for the next ideas, you know, honor the north, the south, the west, east. I won't say specifically the calling of the quarters, and I won't say specifically exactly what I'm talking about, but I'll put the idea for it. And that kind of opens up your mind in a way. It allows you to force yourself to think, which is part of the presence, you know. If you are present in your ritual, you're most present when you're thinking, how can I say what I want to say next and have it really be impactful? And for me, the secret is not to have it all written out for me. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, of course, and I hope that all of you, I noticed there has been an issue with saying blessed be, but I will say blessings to you all. I will hope for you. You know, I always keep a candle lit for the witches in the world, for the pagans in the world, for those who are not quite on the path yet, who have not discovered us yet, for the ones that have left for a while, who feel drained, who feel that they cannot continue, for those who have left to pursue other paths. I keep a candle lit for all of you. Specifically my followers, I love you more than anything, because it's really amazing that 48 or something like that, 47, 48 of you, people, real live people on the internet, pay attention to what I have to say, and even, you know, watch videos, multiple videos that really, really mean something to me, guys. So, like I said, I won't say blessed be, but I will say blessings to you all, and blessed equinox and happy fall, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye-bye.